Pranam Bandhu. In today's episode of this daily vlog, I'll talk about this great soul, Dr. Deepak from Connecticut, USA. When I was working in Nirmal Hriday in Kalighat in Mother Teresa's Missionary of Charity as a volunteer, I met a young man who was an Indian. Like in Mother Teresa's Missionary of Charities, most people are non-Indians. So I met this Indian man, but when he talked, it seems like he was talking with this American accent. So I came to know that this person is a second generation American. During the work and everything, we started talking and we became friends. And then we started sharing our dreams and our feelings, and we started knowing each other. He went back home and he came back again to Kolkata. I'd already made this film called My Karma, and I was going to start my work for Amar Nijer, for my work with the people. Deepak was not a doctor that time. He had started his medical studies. So he had seen how I was working and struggling with all the work because those days I already had adopted one elderly person, Nitai. Elderly means elder than me, this person, and he was staying in the house where I was staying. So I would have to take care of his food and everything. And then early mornings I would go to this slum, and they would work there with angels, with the children who were like angels, and with the women who were also like angels that time. So I would work there and I would carry so much weight and with me, and so many things. He was seeing how I was working, and then when he would come, he would say, okay, I'll carry your bags, and I would do this thing for you. He would cook, or he would do, whenever he was here, he was always trying to be of so much help, be of so much care, because he would be listening to me, my struggles, and he would be another person. Because when you do some work and you are just alone and nobody to talk to, nobody to see what you are doing, nobody to share your cross. Whenever he would be here, he would be like something which is bigger, something which could be greater than all blood relation brothers. He was like a brother of feelings. We were brothers by the soul, because he also had a lot of desires, a lot of things which he wanted to do, but he also had his constraints. But he could do something. When he was not even here in India, in Kolkata, physically present, he was writing to me and talking to me, from his home in America. He was living in New York that time, and he was so much of a support. He would always tell me, Korak, I want to be part of this thing. I said, you are already part of this thing. But he said, no, I want to be contributing in it. I want to share some money, because he would see how I would eat once in a day, or sometimes, because I had very little bit money which my father had given, or which I had little bit, and that money would go into buying the books and buying the copies and pencils and pens and all these things, and giving the rent to the place which I was hiring, and so many other money things which were needed to be given. And then he started saying that, Korak, I want to share money, because I have this medical, government pays me something, give me a kind of loan for doing my studies, and I want to give a share of that. So I told him, no, you cannot give a share of, because the government must be giving only that much of money which you need to complete your education and also to survive in that situation. He says, no, but you are living so simply and basically, and so I want to also live in a very simple. And he was living in a most simple way. What he is, I'm not saying that he's one of the greatest soul, the world has seen, just like that. I know people in the world. I've much read person and things like that. He would live in a very, very basic and simple way, and he would save money from that, and he would come to Kolkata to support in the work. And then he said, I want to give money. I said that, no, if you really, and he was like really persisting. I said, if you really want to share, then you have to share like a family member. And maybe he smiled at me, because he was already like a spiritual family to all the work. So I said that you have to earn the money. You cannot give a money which you are given as a loan. You have to earn the money. You have to do hard work for the money. Like for a family, everybody does hard work to raise the family in a proper way. So I said, you have to work hard for this family, and you have to give every month, because according to what I know, that all these months I'll have this much money. Accordingly, I'll increase the work. I'll increase the reach to the people. He said, okay, I'll work. I said, when you will work? You are studying for medicine. You are studying for, you are doing your medical studies. When will you work? He said, on my weekends, I will work in a hotel. And he started doing that. In the weekends, he started working in a hotel, and he started contributing. His contribution started. And another reason for being this great soul, the greatest soul he is, that when he got married and when he has a child, then his wife couldn't work, and obviously the responsibilities increases, and he was sharing a huge percentage of the money he was earning earlier by his hotel work and part-time work. And then when he became a doctor, he was sharing a important part, like for his spiritual family here. And then when he had a child, and then I think he was, because of the needs of his family, he was little bit shaken, but still he realized this thing, that no, a spiritual family, you cannot be like this with your soul, like this with the world, like this with your selfless loving, and then leave that. Because then when you leave that, you are completely away from your soul. And people who have tasted the soul things, people who have tasted selfless loving, they cannot do otherwise. And even with all the difficulties he may be going through, all the, how he has to manage, because he has more than one children now, and he has a family, he has bigger responsibilities, still he continues to maintain his greatest soul standards, and he continues to share. And this is what makes him, one of the most unique people in the world. And especially he is living in a country which is a very external country, where you must have this standard of, if you are a doctor, you must have these clothes, if you must have these kind of shoes, you must have this kind of car, you must have this kind of house, you must have this kind of living standard. But just see, Mother Teresa said one thing, that give until it hurts. When you are giving for others, then you give till it hurts. And in a Sattvic thing, we say give even if it hurts. These unwanted children, or these didis who are there, part of the family, and even the creations of art which we do, all these things, if they could breathe out if they could breathe out some good feelings, how it is exported to Deepak, how it is exported to his family, how it is exported to his wife and children, how it is exported to his siblings, how it is exported to his mother Tara, and how is it is exported to his father Naran, and even his uncle. And you know, these breaths of good feelings, I just wish it does beauty and wonder and bliss. It brings bliss to him and all his family. And we welcome you to our Satvik Ashram. Come and be part of this selfless loving. Be part of this ideal way of human living. Welcome.